Hi guys, I'm Marlon from Bursey Twin Stories, and today I'm going to share with you everything I learned about Amazon ads. So we've already made a video about our struggle with Amazon ads, and today, coming out of it, I'm going to share how we did it and how to make it work for you. All right, we have learned so much, and I'm just so excited to share with you so you can learn from our mistakes, and hopefully you'll have a better first-time experience than we did, and hopefully you'll find a way to make it work for you. So stay tuned. At the very end, I'm going to share some of our biggest learning moments and what really helped us make that turning point from it not working to it starting to work. So first off, how do you sign up for Amazon? Okay, super important. There's a lot of scammers out there. So how you do Amazon ads, it's not a fancy website. All it is through your KDP dashboard. So don't go to a random site. There's some out there. You just click on here, your Kindle Direct Publishing, the same way that you would view your reports, that you would see your royalties, that's where you go. So you click on it. It is right here. So you click on marketing, and then there's a whole bunch of marketing choices. Amazon ads is the one right here, and you just click on it, enter your password. All right, top secret. So if you have not started any Amazon ads yet, yours will be empty, but all you do is you click on campaigns and you create a new one. There it is, create a campaign. And then it walks you through it. All right. I'm not going to do a detailed video about how to fill out everything because there's so many helpful videos on YouTube. So you just have sponsored products or product brands. I'm a children's book author, so mine is just a product. I'm not selling a whole brand. So you click on it and then you just have to choose if you want to do your own text or have a standard ad. And then you just scroll through and you have to choose between the type of ad. If you want to do a product targeting ad or a keyword campaign, you can choose between that. And then they have choices where Amazon will help you with your keywords or where you make your own. So this process here can be really fast if you have already done your research and you've already come up with your own keywords or products that you think it's similar to. It can go super fast. If you're not ready, then it does take a while. And a lot of people in other videos have compared it to like throwing spaghetti at a wall because you're just trying random things. So I would really suggest taking your time to do some research, try to figure out what are people actually typing into Amazon. So you have automatic targeting or manual targeting, right? Automatic is where Amazon does the work for you. Manual is where I type in my keywords or the products that I think people who buy those products would also buy mine. So I didn't like automatic because I found it was very general. So you pick what you're doing and you just fill it out. Super easy. I chose dynamic bids down only. I did try up and down, but I found my bid prices really skyrocketed because Amazon would then raise it. It was good. I got lots of impressions, but my budget, it kind of cut in my budget. So I'd suggest doing bids like down only for the first time. But once again, you try, you experiment. It is a lot of trial and error. I just skipped the bid adjustment. Once I tried it, I haven't noticed a difference, but I also haven't figured out how to maximize that yet. And you can pick different countries. I tend to do one country at a time, but there's tons of stuff. But it's super simple, okay? You just go through tons of videos about how to do that. This video, though, I don't want it to take ages, so I'm going to focus on now that you make it. That's how you make it. Now we're going to look at what it all means. How does Amazon ads work and how do they actually help? So if I go to an ad campaign, let's exit this. But okay, let's go to Amazon ads. When in doubt, we'll go back to the homepage. Okay, so point number one. So now that you made an ad, great. But where does it pop up, right? How do people actually see it? So let's give an example of my book here. So there's kind of three main places that your ads can show up. So the keyword, what happens is somebody types in a keyword like feelings, books for kids. They type that into Amazon. All right. You can see this one here is sponsored. So that means that person won the bid. I look at it, it's there. So all these people here sponsored means they got the top page. It means they probably have pretty good bids. Then you'll notice these ones don't say sponsored, so they're not a part of Amazon ads. Their book just is there. And it's popular, it's sold. Amazon put it there because people are buying it. It's making the money. Anytime it says sponsored, it means somebody has an ad. So they can be right at the top. Or if you keep scrolling down, there's more ads partway through. There's like ads midway sponsored. So you don't necessarily know if your ad's going to be at the top or the middle or near the bottom, but it can appear in those different spots. Okay, so that's one way. So if we look here, my book hasn't made it yet. So when I typed in coping skills for kids, I was able to find my book here. Sometimes you can find it, sometimes you can't, right? Because it's a bid process. Sometimes you win the bid and sometimes you don't. So not everyone who types in coping skills for kids is going to necessarily find my book. But it wasn't at the top, but it was here, just partway down, which I think is a pretty sweet spot to be found under the sponsored area. So you only get charged if it says sponsored, if it's like the ad. The point is your ads can be at the top, they can be at the bottom, they can be anywhere in there. So the next important thing is, when do you pay? So on some other ads, you pay just to get in front of people. But Amazon is pretty cool that you actually only pay when someone clicks, say it's 20 or 30 cents. I wish, unfortunately, now it's often like 50 cents to $1 for a bid. It seems to be super competitive right now. So you put that into Amazon. Okay, that's your bid. And if you win, then that means you're at the top of the page or the middle of the page or the bottom. It just means that you got a spot. So that's good. The impressions are free, which can be amazing. That means if you get 1,000 impressions and no one clicks on it, you haven't paid a cent. It has been completely free for you. Win-win, your book's been in front of people. So I do like that about Amazon ads, that even if no one is buying it, it's still exposure and it still puts it in the back of people's minds. And sometimes it takes people a few times to see your product or your book. And eventually they go, oh yeah, I've seen that book a lot. I want to buy it. So that is sweet. That can be free. Now, what happens if they click on it? If you click on somebody's ad, it takes you to their page. So this is my book. You click on it and it shows you the title page. It shows you the sample. There might be a preview. It shows you the price. It shows you the stars. It shows you the book description. And so this is all what the customer sees. Go down, they can see the A+ content. They see other advertisements. They can read reviews. And so if they click on it and they don't buy it, then you can infer that either it wasn't actually relevant for them, or just they weren't interested, or maybe they were just browsing, not shopping. Or you could infer that something might be up. Maybe they weren't attracted by your subtitle. Maybe they didn't like the book description. Was there any errors? Was it not like pleasing to the eyes? The formatting a little off? Is there no hook? Those are things that you can change. So if you're getting a lot of clicks, that kind of stinks if no one's buying it, because then you're paying money. So when people click on it, Amazon charges you the bid price. And if it's not converting to sales, then you do need to think, what can I change? So for us, we made a change to our title page. We made a change to our book description, switched around the formatting. I changed my hook, right? We made it say like, do you ever feel stuck with big feelings or transitions? This book is for you. All right. And that seemed to help a little bit. You can also adjust the price. If people find it too expensive, you can make it cheaper. If you need to raise the price because you're not making enough money, you can do that too. So good news is Amazon ads, it gives you that information. So now I'm just going to share my screen to show you the dashboard, to show you how it helps you get that data, right? I'm not just making up this information. Amazon ads actually shows you. So I'm going to switch my screen over. Okay, this is my year to date. I ran some ads in May and in June, and this is the data, the overall thing. I had 3 or 4 different campaigns that I tried, and that's what I would recommend, trying different things, because most people don't get it right the first time, and I definitely didn't. And that's all right, but I learned from it. So this shows from January to June, which is really just the 2 months though, May and June. All right. So it shows you the impressions. Okay. So that means the number of times that it came in front of people. All right. So I did not pay any money for that. So 114,000 times somebody saw my book. All right. The little thumbnail with the little sponsored thing while they were scrolling through. All right. So that's a lot. That's pretty sweet. And I didn't pay for all of that, right? That's just, it's in front of people. Then the number of clicks, that's the number of time that people actually click on it. They're interested enough. So you captured their attention and you click on it. So you can see the number drops a lot. Not everyone who saw my book wanted to buy it. And as much as that's heartbreaking, because I'm like, everyone should read my book, that's okay. It's totally normal. So 250 people clicked on it. And those people then, they read my description, they looked at it, they read the little preview, they looked at the reviews, and then some made the decision to purchase it and some didn't. And so it's pretty cool that you can see that number. The detail page views shows you how many people saw the page based off an ad. So they didn't actually click on the ad, but they're claiming that because of the ad, it got people to read the page. All right. And then the sales. That's how much sales I got from it. Now it's a little misleading, okay, because I did not make $300, but don't be fooled by that, okay? That sales number is not actually the amount I made. That's if I got all the profit, but I don't. Amazon takes a huge cut, right? So in the end, you only get your royalties, and that is not that number. It makes it look like more of a success, right? In reality, these sales here, I have not broken even, but I will share at the end the trick that we did that is now helping us break even with our daily budget. So we're finally starting to figure it out, but it takes time. We made another video about that, about why Amazon ads are so hard, and that's one of the reasons. Is it's kind of misleading, and I don't like that about Amazon ads. But moving forward, so those are the main things you need to know. Now, with this data though, you can make changes. You can always make changes, and that's one of my biggest tips. I know I'm kind of skipping ahead to the tips, but like, please, if something isn't working, change it and see if it works, right? And learn from it. But let me get back on schedule. So, how does Amazon ads help? One big thing is it gives you this data and also helps the algorithms learn about your book. Because when you're typing in your keywords or you're doing the product targeting and you're saying, people who want this book will also want mine, the Amazon algorithms are going, okay, and they're seeing, they're trying it out. And if people who, let's say, like, I love the book The Rabbit Listened, and if I'm like, people who like that book will like mine. So people who type in The Rabbit Listened, they see my book, and if they click on it, Amazon makes the positive connection and goes, great, that worked. The customer is happy, everyone's happy. So it's sweet for teaching Amazon about your book, because Amazon doesn't promote your book unless you pay for ads. A lot of people think I'm on Amazon. Amazon's just going to want to sell my book, but there's so many authors out there and so many people willing to pay for ads that they really just prioritize the ads. Amazon ads are helpful because it's your way to actually get to the top of a product page or to get seen. People type in keywords. So the other way Amazon ads help is it helps you get data, right? Without the ads, I can see the country that people bought it from, but that's about it. And so Amazon ads helps because then I can see, okay, people are looking at it and they're not buying. So maybe something's up with my cover page. Or I can see, okay, the cover page is great. They click on the ad, they're interested, but something about my book is misleading, or they don't like it, or it's not for them, it's not relevant. And then I can try to make some tweaks and changes because I really want to put my ad in front of people who are going to want to buy it. If you put your ad in front of people and it's not relevant, it doesn't help at all. So in no way, never try to mislead the customer, because it'll end in a bad experience and they'll click on your ad, but they won't buy your book. So you really do want to make sure that your keywords or your product targeting is relevant. And sometimes it's fun to go for some of the best selling or top ideas or words. But if that's not converting to sales, then it's doing more harm than good, because you're paying money, right? You're not making money. So that's how it helps. It does gather data. It helps generate traffic. All right. So I did enjoy the ads because suddenly people were buying my book. If I don't promote my book and if I don't have Amazon ads running, literally there's no sales, like nothing. But as soon as I do ads, the sales start trickling in. It's not a lot. It's often only 2 or 3 a day, but that's still great because I'm almost ready to share that tip for you, how we helped it make our daily budget. All right, so my biggest tips and tricks. Number one, we decided that we were going to raise the price of our book because, as I already mentioned, the sales that it shows on your Amazon dashboard for marketing, it's not your real sales. It's not your royalties. That's in the dream world. It'd be amazing if I made that much money off a sale, but I don't. Amazon takes a huge cut, right? So in reality, I'm making significantly less. In our other video, The Struggle with Amazon Ads, we learned it's really hard with the bid prices. If bid prices are too high, sometimes it's like $2 or $3 for a bid price. And if my royalty for a book is $2, then I'm still in the negative, even if I win the bid. And even if I get one impression, one click, one sale, I'm still in the hole. So what we did that really helped was we raised our book, and we made it so that we actually make, I think it's $3.75 per book. And it worked. Okay. People were not deterred by the price. They still wanted the book. And now we made double every time someone bought our book, which is pretty amazing. Because before that, our bids were too high and we weren't making money off our ads. We were always like 50% lower. And we're like, oh, we just want to break even. And then it was crazy. We raised the price of our book. People still bought our book. And now we're making double the price, which brought us up to that. We're breaking even. So we have not figured out yet how to make lots of money off of it, but we have finally started to climb out of the hole, and it's starting to work a little bit better, which is really exciting. So now we're just going to try to fine tune it and keep focusing on the keywords and products that people are buying. My other biggest tip is not to blow your budget. Like, what your budget is. Our budget is pretty low. We did $5 a day on some of the ad campaigns and $10. We haven't gone higher than that just because I'm always worried about losing money. All right. But the good news is some of these ad campaigns, like I have one right now that's not working. I thought I'm going to focus on a few keywords, only 20. And I'm just going to see if those 20 words work. Well, they're not, but the main reason is because the bids are just too stinking high. So I'm just going to show you here quick. 20 keywords. And so even though these words, I mean, it's only cost me 75 cents and I've been running it for like a week, but there's no sale. So it's not working. After this video, I'm going to totally just revamp it and I'm going to look at what worked before, because we did have a good ad thing before and it just ended. But this one was just kind of an experiment. But you click on it and it hasn't cost me money though. So I'm not really that sad about it because it's 75 cents. And you click on the targeting here. And this is where it can show you the exact keyword and it shows you the number of impressions. It shows you the number of clicks and it shows you the number of sales for the book. So one red flag is that a lot of my keywords didn't have data, which means a lot of people probably aren't typing them into Amazon. But here you can see like some of these bids are just through the roof. They're so expensive, right? So I'm not winning those bids. And I put it low just to see, like, I wonder if I'll get it. And I didn't. As you can see here, I'll scroll over like, yeah, I got 2 impressions or 20. But like, it's some of them are just too expensive. Like the children's book about anger. I don't have $2.29 to spend on a click. So it's only been seen like 16 times. So trying to figure it out, but analyzing the data, making the changes really helps. Another thing to keep in mind, I'm just going to see if it'll show you my old ad campaign. All right, so we've tried a few here. Let me check out this one. So this one I paused because it was getting expensive. So it did we sold 16 books, which was great, but it did cost us $100. And so that really wasn't converting to enough. If I'm only making a couple of bucks, I'm like, wow, I made like 35 bucks. And meanwhile, Amazon made a whole bunch and it cost me $100 American. So that kind of hurt. But the good news is you can pause it. So if you keep track of it, right? I kind of check it too much, but every few days, if you check it, then you can know and you can pause it. And you can also pause the actual words. So when you're going through, if one word is costing you, like I had one book about feelings and it cost me like 40 bucks. And I was like, whoa. I mean, yeah, I got like 4 sales, but I was like, that's too much. And I paused it and you can do that. And that campaign keeps going. So here you can see I paused some books, right? All the ones with the little gray thing are things that I paused, and that's okay. You can pause them. Easy peasy. And it shows you, right? Like the bid price. It shows you the impressions. It shows you if you're at the top of the search. It shows you how much money you've spent. It shows you how many purchases and sales. And so this data is super helpful to go off forward. So going forward on the new campaign that I'm going to make this afternoon, I'm only going to stack it with the stuff that worked. The words that didn't get me any sales and got me like no impressions, I'm just not going to do because it does seem to be a waste. So I'm going to try and narrow that down. I'm going to keep working on it. My next biggest tip is just keep trying. Don't give up. Don't blow your budget either. You got to pace yourself. But it is pretty sweet when you can run these little experiments, see what sells, you see what people are interested in, and then you go with it, right? If I see that like keyword, like children's books for self-regulation, if I realize that, oh my goodness, that's working and everyone who types that in buys my book, I'm going to focus all my budget on that. And if it's not working, you just pause it, delete it, move on, try something else. So look at the data, do what it says. That's my biggest tips. But it's been a journey with Amazon. And I went into it thinking I was just going to quit after a month. And I'm actually going to continue it because I do like how we are getting sales and it is driving traffic to our book. And I'm really learning about the keywords and kind of more about the target audience, right? I'm starting to discover what type of people are buying our book and what other books they buy that then they see ours. Anyways, I am having a good experience with it, but I do have to watch the budget. So keep learning. We're going to keep making videos about our journey as authors. We just want to share so that you can learn from our experience. All right. So if this has been helpful, please like and subscribe. Join us on our journey, learn from our mistakes, learn from what's working. All right. We're all in this together and we just really want to help other authors in their journey. All right. Why not help each other along the way? So thanks for listening.